So Instagram is a great place. You know, it has its moments. There's been a video going around that's been pretty viral. I came across. Uh, it was on a Miss Carissa Nash's page, and it's a very interesting video of a boy who wanted to go confront a black girl that he was he's a classmate with at her house. And this, no, you know what? Just watch the video. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Little boy, you better get your ass from off my porch beating on my door like this. I will call the police. You need to leave. Don't you ever beat on my goddamn door like that. Go. Okay.
So, yeah, he decided to get her attention that he was gonna bring his whip that he just had with her, that he had with him. I mean,
his whip,
his whip that he had with him. I don't know. You have a daughter. I don't have children. Is it normal for children to have whips? Is that a normal thing? Is like a baby shower gift?
Look, at the end of the day, we know the whip for sure came from his house. We know the kid doesn't own the house. We know his parents do. So maybe they have it for sex reasons. I don't know. But that's not. And listen, it could be just a coincidence. It could be a coincidence that this white child brought this whip to a black person's home. Sheer coincidence. Or more likely that this
Like
white
100%.
this white child, his parents probably have not the nicest things to say about black people when they're sitting down for dinner. And this white child managed to piece together that, hey, black people don't like whips. And that's the end result of that.
Well, I mean, the thing about this situation that's so hilarious is that the parents actually lived across the street. So the boy didn't have to go too far. Thank God. It's not one of these situations where they're driving 200 miles to do this. So obviously, what you do as a parent, if this happens, your child, you go over to the parents, you say, excuse me, your child has just come to my house. He brought a whip to confront my daughter. I think you should talk to him, which they did, right? Of course. And it's going to end up perfectly fine after that, isn't it?
You think so?
Run the tape.
My son never touched your car.
We
You
have
a video that he touched your car?
the neighbor does across the street.
You got video?
Come over here.
Not really.
We have it on video.
All right, get off my property. Seriously, get off my property.
Well, I tell you.
Because you ain't coming over here talking nicely. You're accusing my son.
I'm showing you the video.
We're showing you the video.
The door. You ain't showing me the video of me scratching your car. Get off my plan. That's my vine. Get off my plan.
Baby, get off the vine.
I ain't even gonna go there.
No, that's my grapevine.
All right, man.
Okay,
all right.
thank you.
You owe me a plant if
I don't owe you shit. Fuck you. I bet you want to bring your motherfucking ass.
Can you please stop, sir? All we want to do is just talk to you civil.
That's the problem. You and your kids want to play fucking victim. Your son came over
Y'all
here.
are so violent.
Your son came over here.
Baby, please
Your
no.
son came over here with a fucking whip. Bring his ass over here again.
Please.
And see what the fuck happened.
You have a gun.
Come over here on my side and see what the
You
fuck
have
happened.
a
So I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say about this whole situation. The whole situation is funny to me. I just have to laugh at this point because these things continue to happen in America. Like these continue to happen over and over and over again. And then there's people that say that racism doesn't exist, or, you know, we need to move past that or leave it alone. And things like this happen. And it's like, they did everything that they could do. The man went to the father trying to just tell him, like, why? Like, obviously he's going to be pissed, right? If you're a father, that's his right. That's listen. This is not even a double standard thing, but if it was his son, it would probably be a different approach than it being his daughter.
Yeah, he'd be like, go fight that kid.
Right. This is the man's daughter. And the kid came over with a whip to the door, right? Mom answers the door. We all saw the video. She tells the kid, please, what are you doing? Don't be here. You don't need to be confronted. What are you doing? They go and try to tell the parents in a logical way. He's obviously going to be angry. The child who came over with the whip, his father's response is to return with violence as well.
Well,
that's his response.
Well, the gun went off by accident, allegedly. But look, that black family, I think, did what they should have did. Because again, I'm not calling the cops, especially with everything going on. Like, that kid comes to my house, I could call the cops. The cops could see me and think I initiated everything and shoot me or my kid. So I'm not calling the cops, and hey, they're kids. What am I calling the cops for? So I go to, because the situation's messed up. So I go to that kid's parents' house across the street. So I try to have the conversation with the father. That's fine. My wife deals with the parents every day. I'm a parent. We could be assholes, especially when it comes to our children. Okay, it gets heated. It shouldn't have got heated, but it did. I understand that. Cool. You got a problem with my kid? I got a problem with yours. You don't like what I'm saying? You vice versa. Let's fight. What's wrong with throwing some hands?
Right.
You know what I mean? No, of course not. Homeboy decides to escalate. See, the son brought
Stand
the
your
whip.
ground laws.
The son brought the whip. So he brought out.
I see your whip. Let me raise you.
He brought out the stick. He brought out the dick, right? And clearly, he doesn't know how to handle that gun because there was a shot that rang off. Now, I don't want to take it to a worst case scenario, but I mean, a gun is involved. So naturally, you have to anticipate or think about what the worst case scenario is. Look, if you take a gun out, you need to be, A, you need to know how to use it, but B, you need to be prepared for the total end result of that. Because you just took a gun out. What if the person you pulled the gun on gets a hold of the gun? Are you willing to now die? Because if you are not, don't introduce a gun to the situation. He doesn't even know. What if the black guy came with a gun?
What if he got hit? What if he got hit by that accidental shot? Is he willing to kill somebody over what just happened?
His own son. Like, so
that's what you're willing to do?
Could have gone wrong. So I guess the moral of the story is it escalated for no damn reason.
You know what's funny though? It's funny that you brought up cops to start your whole argument here, right? It's funny because they did call the cops. The cops were called because that was the logical next step, right? Cops were called. This was a follow-up that I found on TMZ that they did with the family. Okay, so the cops were called. They were dispatched to the house. They get there. They don't question the boy because they can't question him. He's underage. They have to wait for the parents to get there to question the boy, right? The big thing about what happened when the cops was there is, did people get questioned? Yes, everybody got questioned, but the whip was never confiscated. They let the kid keep the whip. He still has it right now. So her response is now she's fearful for her daughter's life because they didn't take this weapon that he used away from him. He still has it. They still live in the same house. They still go to the same school. She still has to go to that school. So as a parent now, what is your next step? You're a parent. In my mind, they've exhausted everything. I'm just going over there and I'm causing some hell. But I don't have kids. I don't have to think about the consequences of jail time and all that type of stuff. I'm killing somebody at this point. Somebody's getting hurt.
Well, anyways, this is, I mean, like, people like think I'm preaching, separating, and like people probably think like I'm a separatist, and I'm not. I just think that saying keep your enemies close is the dumbest thing I've heard in my entire life. If you're my enemy, I don't want you anywhere near me. I want you as far from me as possible. So if I'm this black family and the police were already involved, I'm hoping against my better judgment that the cops were already called. If it happens again, I'm going to call the cops again. It's been documented that you guys initiated this thing and further action will be taken. So I'm not going to move. But if it happens again, I call the cops and the cops don't do what I think should be done. I'm also not going to take matters into my own hand because I'm a black person in America and I've read that book and I've seen that movie. I know how it ends. I'm not going to deprive my daughter.
And we just did that video.
There you go. I'm not going to deprive my daughter.
For black people.
I'm not going to deprive my daughter of a father because you don't know how to raise your kid. I'm going to move. And and some people are going to hear and be like, "Oh, that's the pussy thing to do. You're going to move." To me, that's like, and this is totally left, but to me, that's like when a rapper blows up and they want to leave their city. That's what you're supposed to do. Because if you stay in your city, you're gonna die, right? So, but hey, like I said, I'm not in America. I'm in Canada, which is ripe with racism, but just not as many trigger happy people. Hopefully that doesn't change. So, who knows? I talk about this all the time, leaving, but I'm not in their shoes. I'm just
Yo,
watching from the outside.
make sure that you link that video too, the one that we just did, America's Not Black, because you
Yeah.
put the little Malcolm X thing at the end,
Yeah.
right? And I watched it, and I watched the full thing and everything, and in the video, I said, you know what, that's your opinion. I thought about it a little bit more. I'm a little bit, I'm leaning now. I'm not just one side. I'm a little bit leaning now to kind of seeing what you were saying. You know what I mean? Understanding what you were saying. So definitely link that video so people could watch that, man. America is not for black people.
I don't think so. All right, viewing public, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, you could do what they expect you to do, and then the outcome is the outcome. And that outcome is more than likely you, the victim, in cuffs, in jail, or shot dead by police who was called to protect you. So I don't know, man. I'm just, I've, had it up to here. But leave it in the comments. What are your thoughts? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuces. Okay.
Deuce.